Our today's topic is one of the most important topics of your life. It's not just about money. It's about freedom. It's about control. It's about your future. Our topic is Making Money is a Game. And in this video, you're going to understand something that most people never understand, even in their entire life. This video will show you the real rules of money. Not the lies you were taught in school, not the myths you hear on social media, and definitely not the confusion that most people live with their whole life. Because the truth is simple. Money is a game. But 99% of people don't know how to play. They are playing blind. They are working hard. They are struggling every day. But they are stuck on level 1. While the rich are playing level 50. Why? Because the rich understand something that poor and middle-class people don't. They don't work harder. They just play smarter. They know the game. They know the rules, and they use those rules to win again and again. But you were never taught those rules. You were taught to work hard, study hard, get a job, save money, and retire one day if you're lucky. But no one taught you about cash flow, leverage, systems, assets, or mental programming. No one taught you how money moves, how money multiplies, and how money grows in silence while most people waste their time. That's why this video is important. Because after this, you will never look at money the same way again. You will stop chasing. You will start building. You will stop surviving. You will start playing like a real player. This is not just a video. This is your first lesson in the game of wealth. Let's begin with principle number 1. Principle 1. Stop counting other people's money. The first reason most people never win the money game is very simple. They are too busy watching other players. They spend their energy comparing, criticizing, and complaining, instead of building their own game. They look at someone's car and say, "He's lucky." They see someone's success and say, "She probably had connections." They see someone's lifestyle and say, "Must be nice to be rich." But they never stop and ask, "What can I do to grow? What can I build? What skills do I need to learn?" That's the difference between watchers and winners. Watchers consume. Winners create. Now let's be honest, everyone has moments of jealousy. But when jealousy becomes a habit, it turns into poison. It kills your focus. It makes you bitter. And worst of all, it wastes your time. Every second you spend counting someone else's money, you lose the chance to count your own. Imagine two people. Both have the same 24 hours. One spends it checking Instagram, gossiping, watching YouTube videos of millionaires and saying, "That will never be me." The other one reads books, learns skills, builds something small, fails, tries again, and silently levels up. 5 years later, one is complaining. The other is living. That's how the game works. And let's go deeper. Sometimes people say, "But I'm not jealous. I'm just angry at how unfair life is." That's just another trap. The money game is not fair, but it is playable. You don't get to choose where you start, but you get to choose whether you stay there. So here's the rule. Stop counting other people's money. Stop watching, stop judging, start learning, start building, start moving. Use that energy to improve your own position on the board. Because in this game, no one is coming to play for you. You are the player, and if you're not playing, you're already losing. Principle 2. Solve difficult problems. If you want to understand how real money is made, this is the key. Money flows to people who solve problems, not to people who work the hardest. not to people who complain the most, not to people who wait. Look around you. Every rich person you know, whether they're a business owner, a creator, an investor, or a startup founder, they are problem solvers. Uber solved the problem of waiting for taxis. Airbnb solved the problem of expensive hotels. Amazon solved the problem of going to 10 different shops. Each of these companies became giants because they focused on one big problem and solved it better than anyone else. Now you might say, but I'm just one person. I can't build a billion-dollar company. That's okay. You don't need to become a billionaire to win this game. But you do need to solve real problems for real people. Example: if you learn how to write clearly and help others market their business, you're solving a problem. If you become a graphic designer and help brands look better, you're solving a problem. If you become a personal trainer, a life coach, a language tutor, you are solving people's pain. And here's the secret: the bigger the problem, the bigger the income. If you solve a small problem for 100 people, you'll make a little money. If you solve a painful, expensive, urgent problem for 1,000 people, you'll never have to worry about money again. But most people run away from problems. They say, "That's too hard." They say, "I don't know how." They say, "What if I fail?" That's why they stay stuck. In this game, you win by running toward the hard things, not away from them. You win by looking at what other people avoid and saying, "I'll figure it out. I'll become the one who knows how." Every problem in your life is an opportunity to learn something, build something, offer something. And if you can do that consistently, you'll never be broke again. Here's the new belief: problems are not punishments. Problems are paychecks in disguise. So start looking around. What annoys people? What confuses them? What wastes their time? What costs them money? Now ask, can I solve this? Can I learn the skill? Can I make their life easier? Because the person who solves problems always gets paid. Principle 3. If money is your only goal, you will never have enough. This is one of the biggest secrets of people who are truly wealthy, peaceful, and fulfilled. They did not build their lives around the goal of money. They built their lives around the purpose of value. And money became a natural result. Most people believe money is the destination. So they spend their entire life chasing money like a dog chasing a car. But here's what happens when they finally get some. They feel scared to lose it. They feel empty. They want more. It's never enough. A person who only chases money will always live in fear. Fear of not having it. Fear of someone having more. Fear of losing it all. And that fear becomes their prison. Now let's take a real example. Two people are starting their career. One says, "I want to be rich. I want to be a millionaire. I want to be powerful." The other says, "I want to learn how to help people. I want to solve a problem. I want to get so good at one skill that people can't ignore me." After 5 years, who do you think will have more money? It's usually the second person. Why? Because when your focus is on mastery, service, and solving problems, money becomes a byproduct of your value. But when you chase money for its own sake, you make short-term decisions. You jump from one thing to another. You never build deep skills. You never build real relationships. You become addicted to quick wins. And that addiction destroys your long-term success. Here's the truth. Money is not the purpose. Money is not the meaning. Money is not the finish line. It is only a tool, a powerful tool. but still just a tool, and a tool without direction is useless. If you don't have a reason beyond money, you will spend your whole life running and still feel lost. So instead of asking, "How can I get rich fast?" ask this: what value can I build over the next 5 years that will serve people deeply? What skill can I master so well that money follows me naturally? What impact can I make that no one else is making? Because when you build for purpose, you build with patience. You build with focus. And that kind of person becomes unstoppable. This is why the most powerful people in the world don't chase money. Money chases them. Principle 4. You don't have to be smart to get rich. This is going to surprise you, because many people secretly believe, "I'll never be rich because I'm not smart enough. I didn't go to a top school. I don't have a high IQ." But let's destroy this myth forever. You do not need to be a genius to become wealthy. You need to be consistent. You need to be curious. And most of all, you need to take action when others overthink. In fact, history proves this again and again. Some of the richest people in the world were not the smartest in school. They weren't perfect. They didn't have straight A's. They didn't score high on tests. But they did one thing most people never do. They moved. They tested. They failed. They learned. They tried again. While others were waiting to become ready, they got in the game. Let's take an example. 2 young people both want to build an online business. One says, "I need to study everything first. I need to watch every video, take every course, read every blog." The other says, "I'll start small. I'll test one product. If it fails, I'll learn and try again." After 2 years, the second one has failed 5 times, learned 5 times, and finally built a winning business. The first one is still studying. You don't need to be smart. You need to be adaptive. You need to be resilient. You need to be resourceful. Money doesn't ask for your IQ, it asks for your behavior. It rewards the one who learns faster, not the one who knows more. It rewards the one who builds, not the one who waits. It rewards the one who takes responsibility, not the one who blames the world. The truth is, if you are smart but lazy, you lose. If you are average but consistent, you win. That's the game. So don't wait to feel smart enough. Start now. Start messy. Start imperfect. Just don't stay stuck. Because the winners in this game are not always the most intelligent. They are the ones who keep playing long enough to figure it out. Principle 5. Wrong beliefs create the wrong equation. Let's go even deeper now, because there's something happening inside your mind that controls every money decision you make, even when you don't notice it. It's your belief system. What you believe about money becomes your truth. And most people don't realize they are living with a broken equation. Here's how it works. If deep down you believe, money is evil, money changes people, money is only for greedy people, money is hard to earn, rich people are selfish, then your brain will do everything it can to push money away. You'll self-sabotage, you'll procrastinate, you'll feel guilty when you succeed, you'll avoid opportunities, you'll stay broke, not because of lack of talent, but because of internal programming. Now ask yourself honestly, where did these beliefs come from? Did your parents say, "We're not rich, we're honest"? Did your teacher say, "Don't talk about money, focus on marks"? Did you grow up hearing money doesn't grow on trees? These small phrases create your personal money equation. And if that equation is broken, no matter how hard you work, you stay stuck. It's like trying to build a mansion with the blueprint of a hut. You must reprogram your equation. You must replace the old beliefs with new ones. Old belief: money is evil. New belief: money is a tool that amplifies who I already am. Old belief: money is hard to earn. New belief: money flows to value and I can learn to provide value. Old belief: I don't deserve money. New belief: I deserve abundance because I'm willing to create, serve, and grow. This shift is not small, it's everything. Because your brain is a calculator. And if you put the wrong formula in it, you'll get the wrong results forever. So from today, fix the equation. Write down every negative belief you carry. Then challenge it. Break it. Replace it. Because if you change your beliefs, you will change your behavior. And when your behavior changes, your income will follow. That's the rule. Principle 6. Problems are future unicorns. In the game of money, your ability to spot a problem is not a weakness. It's a superpower. Every complaint you hear, every frustration you notice, every sentence that begins with, "I wish there was a better way to," that's a business idea. That's a solution. That's a unicorn waiting to be built. But most people have been trained to run away from problems. They avoid them. They complain about them. They say, "That's not my responsibility." That's why they stay stuck. Here's a better way to think. Every problem is a doorway. Behind that doorway is a customer. Behind that customer is a wallet. And inside that wallet is the reward for the person who brings the solution. Problem spotted. Solution built. Industry changed. Now ask yourself, what frustrates people around you? What are they wasting time on? What are they afraid to try? What systems are outdated? Don't just complain about it, solve it. Even on a small scale, problems are profit. You notice small business owners can't design logos. Learn basic design. Start offering logos for $50. You see students can't stay focused. Learn productivity coaching. Start helping them online. You hear people saying, "I want to lose weight but nothing works." Learn fitness basics. Help them one-on-one. Build trust, then scale. These are not million-dollar unicorns yet, but they are problem-solving engines. And solving one small problem over and over again is how every big company started. Here's what most people never realize. If you become the person who runs toward problems, you will always be needed. You will always be valuable. You will always be paid. Because in this game, the winners don't say, "I hope someone fixes it." They say, "Let me try." That's how you become a builder. That's how you rise. That's how you win. Principle 7. Have multiple sources of income. This principle is no longer optional. In today's world, if you depend on one income, you are walking on a very thin rope with no safety net. You might feel safe today, but the truth is, companies collapse, jobs disappear, health changes, markets crash, life happens. And if all your income is coming from one source, one employer, one contract, one business, one skill, you are always one step away from crisis. Now let's understand this deeply. People say, "But I already work 9 to 5. I don't have time for another income." That's fair, but no one said you have to work 9 to 9. You start small. Here's what multiple income sources actually look like. You have your main job, active income. You start offering a skill online, freelancing, coaching, designing, writing. You invest in mutual funds or stocks, compound growth. You create a small digital product, course, ebook, guide. You learn affiliate marketing. You rent out something you own. You build a YouTube channel or podcast. You don't need to do all of them at once, but you need to start with one. Then build the second. then automate the first, then multiply the second. That's how wealthy people do it. They use one income to create the next one. They stack. They reinvest. They turn their money into machines. Let's take an example. One person works 9 to 5 and uses weekends to build a blog. After 6 months, the blog starts making $300 per month in ad revenue. He uses that to invest in a small index fund. After 1 year, he creates a mini course based on the blog content. Now he makes $500 per month from the course. That's $800 per month extra, while still doing the job. In 3 years, he has 3 income streams. In 5 years, he's financially independent. Compare this to someone who stayed in one job, never built anything else, and was laid off during a crisis. That's the power of multiple income streams. Not just money, but freedom, safety, and power. Because in this game, the player who only plays one move loses early. But the one who builds a strategy controls the board. Principle 8, taste the fruits. Most people are trapped in 2 extreme mindsets. 1. They either spend everything they earn to show off and feel rich. 2. Or they save everything, live like they're broke, and never allow themselves to enjoy what they built. Both are wrong. True wealth is not about sacrifice forever. It's not about flexing constantly either. It's about balance. It's about building something powerful, and then remembering why you built it. Too many people become slaves to their own discipline. They work hard, they make money, they save, they invest, they build systems, and then they forget to live. They don't take a trip. They don't enjoy good food. They don't celebrate small wins. They keep chasing numbers on a screen, but feel empty inside. That's not success. That's a prison with golden walls. Now listen closely. Money is not just for surviving. It's not just for investing. It's not just for building wealth. It's also for tasting the fruits of your labor. It's for experiences, for moments, for freedom, for your health, your peace, your memories. You don't need to buy a mansion. But take your family out to dinner without guilt. You don't need to fly first class. But book that one trip you've always dreamed of. Because the purpose of money is not to die with the highest score. It's to live with the deepest meaning. So reward yourself, not recklessly, but intentionally. Don't wait until you're 65 to live. Don't postpone joy forever. Don't forget the human behind the hustle. Build the tree. Water the roots. But don't forget to taste the fruit. Because in the end, a rich bank account with an empty soul is not a win. True players in this game don't just earn, they live. Principle 9. Learn the money map, assets, liabilities, and cash flow. This is one of the most important truths in the entire game. If you don't understand how money moves, you will always be confused. You'll keep working harder, but wondering why you're still stuck. You'll earn more, but still feel broke. You'll save more, but nothing will grow, because working hard and saving money is not the same as building wealth. You need to understand the money map, how wealth flows, grows, and multiplies. There are 3 parts to this map. 1. Assets. An asset is anything that puts money into your pocket, even when you're not working. Examples: rental property, stocks and dividends, an online course that sells on autopilot, a small business that runs without you. Assets make your money work for you. They create cash flow, not just one-time income. 2. Liabilities. A liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket, often without giving anything back. Like a big house with a huge mortgage, a luxury car with monthly payments, a credit card balance with high interest, even a business that only loses money. Liabilities drain your freedom. They look rich, but keep you poor. Now here's the trick. Most people think a house or a car is an asset. But if it's not generating income, it's not an asset. It's a liability. That one mindset shift can save you decades of financial pain. 3. Cash flow. Cash flow is the river of money moving through your life, in and out. If more is coming in than going out, you're winning. If more is going out than coming in, you're stuck, no matter how much you earn. Think of it like this. One person earns $10,000 per month but spends $9,800. The other earns $4,000 per month, saves $1,000, and invests in assets. Guess who becomes rich in 10 years? Not the one who earns more, but the one who manages cash flow wisely. This is the game. You must build a life where your assets produce income, your liabilities are limited, and your cash flow stays positive every month. But most people don't even know this map exists. They just trade time for money. Forever. Don't be one of them. Draw your money map today. Ask, what assets do I have right now? What liabilities are draining me? How can I build income that flows without my daily effort? Because once you see the map, you'll never go back to playing blind. Principle 10. Use systems, not just hard work. Hard work is important, but hard work without a system is like running on a treadmill. Fast, sweaty, but going nowhere. Most people are exhausted, overworked, and still broke. Not because they don't work hard, but because they work inside broken systems. Here's the truth. Hard work is your entry ticket to the game. Systems are how you win it. Let's define it clearly. A system is a repeatable process that produces consistent results, even when you're not present every second. Now compare two people. Person A wakes up every day and asks, "What should I do today? What should I post? What should I eat? Where did all my money go?" This person is deciding constantly, which leads to decision fatigue, confusion, and inconsistency. Person B has clear systems, a to-do list already prepared, a weekly meal plan, a content system that runs every Monday, a finance tracker that alerts him when he's overspending. This person executes calmly, consistently, and powerfully. Which one do you think builds wealth faster? You already know the answer. Let's go deeper. Think about companies like McDonald's or Starbucks. They don't have the best food or coffee, but they have the best systems, consistent service, scalable operations, repeatable results, automated processes. That's why they win. Now ask yourself, what system can I build around my time, energy, or income? Even something as small as posting a reel every day at 9 a.m., reading one chapter every night before bed, saving 20% of every payment you receive, is a system. And small systems become big results when done daily. Don't just hustle, build systems. Because in this game, hustlers get tired, but builders scale. Principle 11. Level up your skills. That's your real power. This principle is the foundation of everything. In the game of money, your most valuable asset is not your job, not your degree, not even your network. It's your skills. Because skills are what give you leverage. Skills are what make you valuable in any environment. Skills are what allow you to create income anywhere in the world, even from a laptop. Let's define it clearly. A skill is something you can do well that creates value for others, and therefore, money for you. Examples. Writing persuasive content, editing videos, teaching English, coding apps, selling products, building websites, speaking confidently, solving problems fast, managing people, thinking strategically. Now imagine this. Two people lose their jobs tomorrow. One has no extra skills. They panic. They feel helpless. They wait for someone to rescue them. The other has 2 to 3 strong skills. They immediately find freelance work, start offering value, create something, or pivot to something new. One stays stuck. The other survives and grows. The world rewards competence. If you are extremely good at something that solves real problems, you will never be broke. But most people stop learning after school. They graduate, get a job, and then let their brain rust for the next 30 years. Meanwhile, the winners are constantly sharpening the blade. Every book they read, every course they take, every test they try, every project they launch, every conversation they study, it all adds up. The game is not about who starts with the most talent. It's about who adds the most tools to their tool belt. Here's the truth. A rich person with no skills can lose it all. A broke person with strong skills can rebuild again. A middle-class person who learns one new skill can change generations. So ask yourself, what skill can I learn in the next 90 days that will change my income forever? What problem can I solve better than 90% of people around me? What am I willing to become obsessed with? Because once you become skilled, you become powerful. You become rare. And rare people are always in demand. This game doesn't reward the loudest. It rewards the most skilled. Principle 12. Keep playing even when you lose. This is the master rule of the entire game. Every player loses, every single one. The difference is not who loses. The difference is who quits. Most people lose once and stop. They fail a business and say, "This is not for me." They lose money and say, "Money is dangerous." They try something new and feel embarrassed, so they go back to safety. That is how lives become small. In the money game, losing is not failure. Quitting is failure. Losses are feedback. Losses are lessons. Losses are tuition fees for wisdom. Let's look at it clearly. When a child learns to walk, they fall hundreds of times, but they never say, "Walking is not for me." They fall, adjust, stand again. Money works the same way. You will make wrong decisions, trust the wrong people, invest in the wrong thing, start something that fails. That does not mean you are bad at the game. It means you are learning the game. But society teaches shame around failure. So people hide, they retreat, they play safe. Real players don't. They study the loss. They ask, what went wrong? What can I do better next time? What did this teach me? Then they re-enter the game, smarter. This is why people who succeed later in life are so dangerous. They have already failed. They have already been humbled. They have already learned. So if you lose money, time, or confidence, don't stop. Adjust your strategy. Change your approach. But never exit the game. Because the person who stays in the game the longest eventually wins. Principle 13. Use time like a master player. Most people think money is power. It's not. Time is power. Money can be earned again. Time cannot. Poor thinking trades time for money forever. Smart thinking uses money to buy time. Let's explain this clearly. There are 2 types of people. One sells hours. The other builds value. The first person says, "I worked 10 hours today. I'm busy all the time. I have no free time." The second person asks, "Is this worth my time?" Can this be automated? Can this be delegated? Can this be scaled? They both work, but one is trapped. The other is strategic. Time masters understand one thing deeply: not all hours are equal. One focused hour learning a powerful skill is worth more than 10 hours of mindless work. One smart decision can save years of struggle. That's why rich players plan their days, protect their mornings, reduce useless meetings, say no often, focus on high-value tasks. They don't fill time, they invest time. Start asking better questions. Is this activity moving me forward or just keeping me busy? Is this something I must do or something I can remove? Is this urgent or just loud? When you control your time, you control your energy. When you control your energy, you control your future. This game is not won by the busiest player. It is won by the most intentional one. Principle 14. Think and grow rich. Your income follows your thinking. This is not a slogan, it's a law. Your income will never permanently exceed the way you think. If you think small, money stays small. If you think in limits, money hits limits. If you think in fear, money comes with fear. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. Let's go deep. Two people can have the same skills, same resources, same starting point. One thinks, what if this fails? What will people say? I'm not ready yet. The other thinks, I'll learn as I go. I'll adjust if it fails. I'll figure it out. Same situation, different thinking, different results. Money follows decisions, and decisions follow thoughts. That's why mindset is not motivation. It's infrastructure. If your thinking is broken, every action will be weak. Rich thinkers ask, how can this grow? How can this scale? How can this serve more people? How can this work without me? Poor thinking asks, how much effort is needed? What if I lose? Is this safe? Can I avoid risk? To grow financially, your thinking must expand first. Read books that stretch your mind. Listen to ideas that feel uncomfortable. Spend time with people who think bigger than you. Because once your thinking upgrades, money has no choice but to follow. You don't chase money. You become the person money follows. Money is a game, not a cruel one, not an unfair one, a skill-based game. Those who learn the rules win. Those who refuse, complain. Now you know the rules. The only question left is simple. Will you play or will you watch? If this video opened your eyes, don't just leave. Subscribe, because this is just the beginning. There's so much more to learn, and I'll be here to teach you every step of the way.